Every once in a while, people ask me what they should do to get into YouTube and make better videos. I've only gotten this question about 8 to 9 times, but they've been getting closer and closer together in time. Whenever they've asked me this, I've always given slightly different answers, and I've given multiple types of answers to the same people, and seemingly no matter what I say, it never comes across. This is one of those situations where people ask for help, but don't want any. And that's perfectly fine, but because of that, I feel like I should make this video, and especially the first Coherent Ramblings, because of the fact that this is a question I keep getting asked, and no matter how I try to phrase it, whether I try to do it as simple as possible, just be yourself, do this, do that, or go into more technical things, such as, you're editing this manually when there's a program to edit this for you, or you should really use a condenser to make your video uploads faster, things like that. And no matter how I go about it, no matter whether I go philosophy, whether I go technical, whether I go completely in between and talk about what the art form is as a whole, it seems to never come off to people, and the people never really truly take in the words I'm saying. If you want to do something like YouTube, you have to do it for yourself more than anything else. And that could sound selfish, because you could say, well, what about my audience? What about this? What about that? Well, those things truly cannot always measure up, because of the fact that this is, in my opinion, an art form. It's more than a hobby because of the fact there can be other people that are interested in your work, and that's strange for the most part when it comes to hobbies. You normally play video games, and, well, no one ever sees you play them. You normally, theorize about anime or, review it or critique it, and no one ever sees it besides yourself. But this, you're putting your thoughts and your personality out there, or you're putting up your persona out there. Whatever way you choose to go, you're putting that out there for people to see, and, well, that's very different than most hobbies, especially since if you're getting into YouTube, it's because you want those hobbies that no one sees to be seen. That's kind of the point. But when people ask me this, and don't quite take anything in, no matter how I seem to phrase it, no matter how I go about answering their question, even if it's as simple as, hey, I saw you edited this instead of editing it like this. If you edited it like this, it would sound better, and it would be a lot faster. If I say that, they don't listen. They're like, I do it. It's okay, sure, why not? And they go do it themselves anyway, the way they're doing it. And that's okay, because one thing I like to answer with is, your YouTube channel is your YouTube channel. It's no one else's. It's not anything to do with anything else. A lot of people go on YouTube and try to make YouTube channels like other channels, when that doesn't work. My favorite channel, or was my favorite channel, is drastically different almost every year. It continuously changes, and my favorite types of videos I don't even post. I have a couple series that are like my favorite types of videos. And that's only because that's not my style. I don't enjoy making those type of videos as much as other types of videos. And coming into that realization, realizing that even if you enjoy certain things, or even think, oh, people seem to like this, so I'll make more of this, you gotta realize you gotta make what you want to make foremost. But with saying that, I do realize you have a certain level of responsibility to people who watch your videos, especially people who get invested into a series you create. That might be mostly only me, because my series are, really I'm only talking about one, and you all know which one that is, and it's more of a story-driven series, so they might want to see, hey, I've spent all this time watching this series, I would like to see a resolution to the story, and that's completely understandable. But there's lots of different reasons people get into YouTube, and lots of different reasons why people stop. And sometimes the reasons they began and the reasons they stop aren't so far apart. If you start YouTube to just make videos, and that's all, then your reason to stop might be, well, I don't want to make videos anymore, so you stop. If your reason is to get popular, and you don't get popular, then you stop. You see what I mean here. And with this knowledge, with this somewhat understanding of how this system works, and seeing it progress over the past 4 or 5 years of me watching YouTube and watching all different sizes of channels and dissecting this and seeing YouTubers that make a living off of YouTube go, I don't enjoy doing this anymore and I would prefer to go and be an engineer. I've seen that happen plenty of times. You might say, these people are paid to play video games for a living and they're paid a lot of money, about this almost as much as an engineer makes. But he's going off to be an engineer. That's strange, that's unusual. And I say, well, no. Why not? Because, like YouTube, engineering is just another form of art. It's just another thing. It's just another outlet. And if you think about it in those terms, you can come to understand your relationship with YouTube. And I think that is the most important thing of getting into YouTube. You have to understand your relationship with it. You have to understand your relationship with yourself. You have to understand, what type of videos do I want to make? And are the videos I'm making, do they fit on YouTube? Should I go to a different place? Is the stuff I want to make all story-based and basically full of words and nothing else? No visuals, no nothing else. Would I prefer to be on the radio? Would I prefer to be on a book? Would I prefer to be in a comic? You gotta understand those sort of things. And you have to also understand that YouTube can be approached at any different angle, at any different time. And because of that factor, it doesn't matter necessarily what other people say, because that won't necessarily work for you. There's tons of things that work really well for me that don't work at all for other people, and vice versa. And that's just kind of the way of it. People ask me, and I give them answers, but they never stick, because, well, how could they stick? It's coming from another person whose content you don't want to necessarily make, whose ways might not necessarily work. It's already hard enough to accept help from other people, let alone implement ideas that may or may not even work for yourself. That's why one of the advices I give a lot is the advice to, in every video, try something new or try to improve that video in some way. You know, record your time making a video. Make like the second episode in a minute less time. Do that. You know, always improve and always try different things. If you always try like one new edit or one new trick or one new style, your arsenal of like editing and ability will go up, and your knowledge and speed at it will go up exponentially. When I was making the roleplay series, those increased my talent at editing far more than anything else, and I had the far fastest rapid evolution while making those, because they pushed me past where I was and kept pushing me forward and forward. And I kept having to edit for 20 hours here, 20 hours there, 15 hours here, and it just kept culminating and giving me more and more practice and honing my skills more and more, to the point where I was nowhere even close to where I began. And, you know, looking at it from that way, that's great, but also you look back where you began and you think, well, that was terrible. Why did I enjoy this? Why did I think this was my best video when I literally make a video this decent? Literally every video I post is this good. Because that's kind of how it works. And you'll look at YouTube and you'll say, wow, I really don't enjoy my content right now. This is not content I would watch. And yeah, that happens. That happens to everyone. That happened to me. That happens to me all the time. I will watch my content and I will realize I wouldn't watch this. I wouldn't watch this. So I think of a way to improve it. And that keeps happening. My tastes keep changing, and my ability to take in content keeps changing, and my ability to critique things keeps changing, and my ability to accept certain things and to understand certain things keeps changing. I am far more lenient, but at the same time far more demanding. Because I've seen people without any props, without any setup, without anything, make some of the greatest videos I've ever seen. And then I've seen people spend a half a year working on one video that's this magnum opus, perfect, amazing video. And I've seen everything in between and outside of that. And you have to understand, you could land anywhere in there. To start YouTube and to make videos better, you have to start it for yourself. You have to do what you want to do. And to make them better, you have to make them better yourself. You have to look at them and say, what would I want to have in this video? What makes this more fun to edit? What makes this funner to record? What do I enjoy doing? How would I enjoy this more? What would make this better to me? Because like any other art, you should be making it for yourself. This is not a product you're selling. You're making a piece of art. And if other people enjoy your art, that's great. But that is a side thing. You have to understand that. If you're making art, the fact other people enjoy it is very much a side thing. You might want to continuously improve it, and you want people to enjoy it. Trust me, I want people to come to my videos and say, wow, I got inspired by this to make my own roleplay series. Or, wow, I was really nervous about making a channel, but it's like, you went from doing this to doing this, and now I'm a little bit more confident in, making my channel, because look how terrible this one is. I can do far better than this with ease, and this one's so popular. It's got 700 subscribers. Wow. And comments like that are the greatest comments I've ever gotten, and I don't know if I can get better comments than that. Just, you inspired me to make a roleplay series. That's the greatest comment I could ever possibly get. This inspiration, that's the greatest thing a creator can possibly ever get, and that just... I say comments make my day. I say subscribers are just they're fantastic to see a sub count go up. But comments especially, that just makes my day. The fact that you go out your way to leave a comment, that's incredible. And this comments like that say, wow, you really inspired me to do something, to make a piece of art, to make this. That legitimately makes my year. That is it's an undescribable, unbelievable feeling. And feelings like that is why you do YouTube. It's to show your art to other people, and hopefully they get inspired from it as well, or they learn something from it, or they say, wow, that was cool, I want to do something like this, or wow, that was cool, I don't want to do something like this, but it gives me an idea of how to make what I'm doing better. That's what you should want. You want to show your work to others, have them appreciate it, grow from it, and you yourself also grow from it and enjoy it and appreciate it. That's kind of the whole point of it. And a lot of the time people don't quite get that. And sure, there's different levels of wanting to do YouTube. I want to post a video once a year because, well, why not? And I want to post a video every single day because this is what I love doing. There's all different levels and all different in-betweens. And you have to find out for yourself where that is. Because no matter how much empathy I have, no matter how much I can read people, no matter how much I can do anything, I can't 100% say, this is exactly what you should be doing. I can say, wow, it sounds like you would much prefer to be doing this or this, but really, it's down to the individual creator to figure out their own path and their own way, and what they want to do. With saying all that, and saying, basically, figure it out yourself, I do want to say, though, that to figure it out, sometimes you just have to look at yourself in the mirror and not be afraid to critique it. If that makes any sense. I'm just saying, sometimes you have to look at your good sides and your bad sides to be able to realize what you truly want to do.